Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Vayetzei. Okay, continuing on, we were discussing how we started to discuss that when Yaakov, a very interesting part, that when Yaakov goes to Haran and he goes to Lavan's house, on his way, he davens, and what does he do? When he goes to sleep, he puts stones around his head. Why? To protect him from the wild animals. Of course, the question is, if you're putting stones to protect yourself, so why are you putting it around your head only? No, Nafshach. Either you think Hashem is going to take care of you, so you don't put any stones, or you're trying to not rely on miracles and go by nature, so why aren't you covering your whole body? Why just your head? So the explanation is because it wasn't just like a physical thing. It's more of a spiritual thing. Yeah, he did physical, but it's representing spiritual, and it's a lesson for us that the head should be protected. If our head is protected, so then the rest of the body is protected. When we go to work, and it's totally consumes us that we don't have, our head is not clear. And this is in a simple sense. If it's one of the sometimes the best to have an outside opinion, because your head is totally involved and you can't see things clearly. That's sort of what we're saying. When your head is totally involved at work, in a sense that you're totally consumed by work, you can't even think straight. You don't have time with your family. You don't go to daven. You don't go to learn properly. You don't give yourself time for that spirituality you're meant to be doing. Torah mitzvahs, so you're missing it. You're missing the point. And that's what we're saying. You have to go not with your head. To keep your head clear. That doesn't mean when you go to work you don't think, but it means when you're not dragging work home with you, and you're having that time to, when you're at home, you're doing the things you need to do at home. When you go to shul, it means that you don't miss out on your davening times, your learning times, and all the times you have to do. That's what it's saying. Yeah. Now the next point, when dissecting this whole idea and the whole story, and bring it down into what does it mean for us? And this is what we're going to say today. It's an idea that we've talked about before, and you see it as we move on in Sukkos, this theme coming. And the idea is that we start to realize, to see the world the way the Rebbe sees it, and how we should be looking at our situation, and how we should be conducting ourselves. So, hey, V'ma ekif Yaakov v'gadar es atzah min ha'olam. With what? Did Yaakov? We'll just finish off the last paragraph again, just to go over, so it'll be nice and good. This is all of us. Allah, we have to be careful. That our head should be protected. And therefore, when the head is the way it should be, therefore, automatically your hands and the rest of your body will be good. When you go to work, you do work according to what it says Shulchan Aruch. Hayadayim tis ta'asaikna b'midah sharak shimale deicher v'ilu yamin makareves smile deicher v'yamin makareves. And you're walking away that the left pushes away whatever shouldn't be, and the right brings in whatever should be. Araglayim tiyena ratzas d'var mitzvah. Your legs around to a mitzvah, meaning, in simple sense, you'll have the clarity to do what you're meant to be doing. Meaning, when you go to work, he says that Shulchan Aruch means, is this according to halacha, the right thing, or not? If yes, yes. If not, I'm not going to do it. And you have that clarity and that conviction. Whereas when your head is not protected and you don't have that clarity, so then people unfortunately could do things that's not exactly according to Shulchan Aruch. Hey. What did Yaakov use to protect himself? What did he use to protect himself so the world wouldn't affect him? So he says, the Rebbe is learning out, what does it mean that he used stones? He didn't use stones. He didn't use loy aseichel, loy beregesh, ki'im ba'avanim, sugademim. He didn't use his intellect, he didn't use his emotions. What did he use? Simple stones. Inanimate objects. There's no life. I feel loy nefesh hatzimach is not even growth. Elu kasha Yaakov is asking me. With this, he connected himself. He protected himself. So what does that mean for us to use inanimate stones? I'm sure everyone can figure it out. So what's the lesson? El ha'ilam, going out to the world. And we want to go. We need to go out to the world. We want to make sure that it doesn't affect us. The tarikh tchila liskasher, the kabbalah samachoshamayim shlema. We have to have complete kabbalah soul. The kabbalah soul is like this daimim. It's like this inanimate object, the stone. And he's going to explain. Avanim. Well, that's what it is to be avanim stones. Now, seichel v'regesh, intellect and emotions. This is not enough to protect you. Love, lachush, atzmai, ka'eben, you have to be sensitive to yourself to be like a stone. Im loy shivisi v'demamti, v'nafshi ka'afar tiya, and my soul should be like dust. Everything. It's a very important point. That what he's saying is, if we a connection to Judaism, and the limit of that connection is how we feel, how it makes sense. Like we said this in last week's sikha, I'm pretty sure in a few other sikhas. What will happen? It's limited to that intellect, to that emotion. Judaism is fun now. What happens when it stops being fun? Whereas when you have Kabbalah soul, it's not about Judaism fun. If you're like a stone, you're inanimate. The connection is, this is what it is. It is what it is. That's why I do it. Why? Because it's good. God told me to. Not because it feels good, not because I enjoy it. That doesn't come into the equation. But I enjoy you, so I'm in a relationship with you. I'm in a relationship, a husband and a wife in a relationship because the husband and wife. Now we should have an enjoyable relationship and we should have an intellectual relationship and all these good things. But the foundation of the relationship can't be, and this is, like I said this before, I saw this video a while back that on the watchtower in the airline, the guys were speaking to the pilot as they landed, and he said, or they're taking off, and he said, my girlfriend, whatever, is on the flight, and I want to propose to her, but I'm nervous. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. So he goes, no, you do it. You're on the speaker. Speak. So then what did the guy say? And this is something like blew me away. He goes, in a not good way. He said, you make me feel so good. Would you marry me? It was such a, I felt so weird. Like you're saying, hey, you taste good. You're like ice cream to me. So I want to get married to you because I enjoy ice cream. He's saying, I don't care about you. I care about what you do for me. And this is the issue with Yiddishkeit. If it's limited to intellect or emotions, he's saying emotionally feels good, so I want to do it. And what happens when emotions go away? I don't do it. Or it makes sense to me. What happens when someone proves it doesn't make sense? You're not going to do it. That's why you have to be like a stone. Of course, you should think about it. Of course, you should have emotions to Torah mitzvahs. But the foundation of the Torah mitzvahs is not based off my intellect or my emotions, but it's based off my Kabbalah soul. I'm a stone. I'm a Yid, and the Eibishter, and that's all. And look what he says. He goes, an inanimate object can't move itself. Until someone will take the stone and move it. We have to feel ourselves like that. Meaning, Eved Pashut, we're a simple servant. Meaning, Hashem moves us. Hashem pulls me here, so I go there. Hashem pulls me there, and I go there. I follow Hashem. But Allah says, I say, l'shem hashlama sakavana, and I have to put myself to complete the kavana, the intent, v'hashlichus shakadosh baruch hu hitil alav, and the shlichus Hashem gave it to me. I am a servant of Hashem. This is the attitude that we have to have. That we should work on ourselves. That who am I? And this is a very empowering idea. Who am I? I'm a servant of Hashem. What Hashem wants me to do? This and this and that. What gets in the way of that? Our own machshavos, our own intellect, our own emotions. And me, I'm a nobody. I don't feel like it. It's uncomfortable. People are going to think of me funny. Yeah. we have to be like an inanimate object. Wherever we are, it's what Hashem put me here. What Hashem needs from me, He needs me to do Torah mitzvahs here. He needs to make this place a dur b'tachtonim, something that I can give to this place, and that's it. And then if I get moved somewhere else, then I go do that. But I'm not here because it feels good or because I gain from it. I'm not in a relationship because you make me feel good. It's like the Vayetzei. I don't like someone says I love salmon. You don't love salmon. You love what salmon does for you. It feels good. We're not doing Torah mitzvahs because it feels good, which it should feel good. We're not doing Torah mitzvahs because it makes sense, and it should make sense. But we're doing Torah mitzvahs because we eved of the Eibishter. We are a servant of Hashem, and what Hashem wants me to do is do this thing. When we come with this attitude, it gets us the ability to do things far and beyond what we could ever imagine. But if it comes from our intellect, our emotions, so it's limited to how much we understand. This makes sense to me. I think I can do this. And then you think you can't do other things. And so then you limit yourself. But whereas here, you're coming as a Kabbalah soul, God's in charge. Whatever you want me to do, that's what I'm doing. Therefore, you can achieve greatness. Let's continue on the next part. Vav. So what's the reward? Now that we've explained, and maybe we'll give a little bit of a summary, and then we'll get into this more tomorrow. So we explained, we said a few things here. Yaakov went from Beersheba to Haran. He goes from the best of places to Beersheba, like we explained, 2 opinions of how great it was, whether it was because of the pact that he made, so he had peace, or whether it was because the wells that he was able to dig and finally even fix everything up because it was going so good, living the good life. And he comes, Haran, Avshamakim is the worst of places, Sin City. And what happens? What do we see here? That specifically in Haran, Avshamakim, the worst of places, is where Yaakov is so successful, ultimately gets successful with Gashmius, very wealthy, and also successful with all his kids. He was the only Mitas Shlem, he's the only one of the forefathers that had all righteous children. And what do we learn from this? The first lesson the Rebbe is teaching us, the Rebbe says this out, spells out clearly, that it's specifically in the test where you achieve the greatness. That specifically because he was in Haran, he was in this worst of places, he was able to be so successful with bringing up his kids, which is a wild idea. You think if you're in the perfect, easy environment, that's where all the success happens. It's like people talk about why they don't want to be connected in Chabad or whatever. Well, a lot of the discussion is, I have a friend who talked about this. He used to be Chabad, and he's not so Lubavitch anymore. And he said, look, it's like I want to send my kid to a place where it's a bubble, and in the bubble nothing can go wrong because they're good. But what we're learning, true success is not in the bubble. It's in Haran. It doesn't mean we should jump into Haran and try to find the worst place and jump there. But reality of life has its challenges, and if we can take those challenges and realize that helps us, pushes us to great growth. So that's the first part. Then we said when Yaakov goes, what does he do? Before he goes into this place, he davens. He's coming to get a shidduch. What is he davening? He should figure out what's going on, how to present himself, how to fix up his resume, and how to not look like a nebuch, how to dress nicely, we should buy some clothes. What's the dress code like over there? What does he do? He davens. He realizes what's success in life? To connect yourself to the Eibishter. That's the second thing. Let's connect ourselves to the Eibishter. That's what it says. And then what does he do when he gets to sleep? He protects his head. So we're saying, what is this? Either he thinks that Hashem is going to protect him, so therefore he doesn't need to protect himself at all, or he thinks he doesn't rely on a miracle, so he needs protection. He should protect his whole body, not just his head. So why is he protecting his head? So we're learning because he's protecting his head is a spiritual idea. He realizes he's going to Haran, it's a dangerous place. He says to himself to make sure my head is in the right place. My head's not sunken into this situation. And that's a lesson for all of us. We want to be successful when we got into the world, we got into life. Make sure our head is clear. What does it mean the head is clear? That when we go to work, we go work. But the work is not dragged out all day. We don't work 24 hours. We work from 9 to 5 or whatever the time period is. When it comes to davening and learning, we're able to daven and learn like a mensch. We have that clarity. We're able to do Torah mitzvahs like we do properly. And it's not that the work pulls us away from those things. The work is meant to assist them, not to detract from them. And then we said today, what does he protect himself with? With the Evan, with the stones. What does it mean, protect yourself with the stones? What's a stone? A stone is inanimate. And it's teaching us we have to have a connection with Hashem, and this key to the success is the Kabbalah Soul. Kabbalah Soul means I'm an Evan of Hashem. It's not that I connect to Hashem, my intellect, my emotions, what makes me feel good or what it does for me. but it's about what Hashem needs from me. And Hashem needs me to do this, that's what I'm doing. Of course, we should enjoy it, and of course, we should have a connection to it, but that's not the foundation. Of course, when you know, like we're getting married, you get married to someone. It's not, I get married to you because I'm getting married to you, I don't care about anything. Of course, you should feel, you should have an emotion, you have an attraction, you should have all these good things. But the foundation of the marriage is I want to build a bais and soul, a binyan adiyad. I want to have a connection with us, that we're going to build an everlasting edifice, and it takes a break. And I'm there committed like a stone. He's not moving anywhere. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Of course, we should enjoy it and have a good time, but that's not why I'm getting married, because I have a good time with you. And what happens when I have a good time with you? I don't get married anymore. But I want to be married. Let's do this. And this is what we're learning. And tomorrow we're going to learn the reward for all of this effort. Mitzvah Hashem, to be continued tomorrow. Have a great, great day.